But Jack Frost, the original Jack Frost, was awesome. It was so bad that it's good. I absolutely love that movie. And I'm willing to fight you on that.
Hello everybody and welcome to Gene's Reviews. Reviews from a regular dude. Where I do trailer reactions, I react to YouTube videos, I review YouTube channels, occasionally I'll review a movie, but really, I just do whatever the hell I want.
Hello everybody and welcome to Gene's Reviews. Reviews from a regular dude. I'm back. I'm still hoarse, a little bit, but it's slowly getting better. It like comes and goes. So I'll just keep up with the medicine I've been taking for the acid reflux and see what happens. Gargle every night with salt water and every morning. See if that helps. But today, I don't want to keep missing days. So we're going to do one from Top 5 Scary Videos. This is Top 5 Dumbest Horror Movie Sequels. Now there's like 5 parts of this. This is the first one. So let's check this out.
I've said it time and time again, sequels aren't always necessary, and movies that are, or at least are close to perfection, should never be touched. However, Hollywood loves to capitalize on prior successes, which means almost any horror you can think of has had a sequel or a loose sequel that you didn't even know about. These are the top 5 dumbest horror movie sequels. Let's jump in. Coming in at number 5, we have Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 2. We discussed this movie a lot, and not in the nicest words possible.
I gotta say right off the bat, Silent Night, Deadly Night 1 wasn't a great movie. It's a so bad it's good movie. So, I don't know. I haven't seen part 2, so I can't really talk on it, but if it's so bad it's good, it did its job.
That's for sure. Released in 1987 and directed by Lee Harry, Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 2 is a sequel to the 1984 Silent Night, Deadly Night, which follows a young boy named Billy who witnesses his parents get murdered on Christmas Eve by a man dressed as Santa Claus. Fast forward in time and the Christmas holiday leads Billy to have a full-on psychological breakdown as he dons a Santa suit himself and goes on a killing spree. It's a fun time and the movie has garnered quite the cult following over the years. The sequel, however, oh boy, what a mess. The plot follows Ricky Caldwell, the brother of Billy, who also goes on a killing spree after experiencing the same trauma of his parents being murdered on Christmas Eve. Same plot, different character. The lack of originality is laughable. To make matters worse, 40 minutes of the movie, which I should state is only 1 hour and 90 minutes long total, is archive footage from the original movie, with the bulk of the movie simply being flashbacks. The acting is so bad that you often wonder if the entire thing was a joke that we all just weren't in on, or if this is something similar to The Room, an artist with no talent taking their work far too seriously. It has garnered
I do remember the acting in that movie was so bad.
The cult following, with it being considered a black comedy due to the lead's performance in the movie. Many moments have also been turned into memes, particularly one moment where Ricky shoots a man who is taking out the trash with him shouting, "Garbage Day!" The internet loved that. In at number 4 we have American Psycho 2 All American Girl. Now I should preface this point by saying American Psycho 2 was originally never supposed to be a sequel to American Psycho. Instead it was retrofitted last minute to become a sequel, but I'll get more into that shortly.
That's
Released in 2002 and directed by Morgan J. Freeman, not to be confused with Morgan Freeman, the film stars the likes of Mila Kunis and William Shatner, with the plot of American Psycho 2 following Rachel Newman, played by Kunis, a criminology student who is compelled to murder. Fun times. Essentially, Rachel is a killer learning about serial killers. Now, what made American Psycho so good was its commentary on the wealthy elite and the destructive lifestyle that often comes along with.
What made American Psycho so good was Christian Bale.
that. Not to mention, it was sleekly executed, with the driving force of Christian Bale giving a performance of a lifetime. It was a clever movie and is arguably one of the greatest ever made. However, American Psycho 2, well, it might be for the best to forget it ever happened. It fails to live up to its predecessor in any real way. Now, like I said, this was never intended to be a sequel to the hit movie and was intended to be called The Girl Who Wouldn't Die. However, as we know, that changed and the movie kicks off with Patrick Bateman being killed by a young girl, with the young girl turning turning out to be Rachel Newman. Wow. Mila Kunis to this day is mortified that this movie exists, with her even stating, I quote, "Please, somebody stop this, write a petition. When I did the second one, I didn't know it'd be American Psycho 2. It was supposed to be a different project and it was re-edited, but oh, I don't know. Bad." I love that quote. In at number...
You know I've seen it, but like you said, it's forgettable. And I don't remember anything about it, except I knew that Mila Kunis was in it. That's enough reason for me to watch it.
Number 3, we have Book of Shadows, Blair Witch 2. I've discussed this
that was bad.
unnecessary
I didn't
sequel
like
in the
that at
past,
all.
and by disgust I mean absolutely tore apart. Released in 2000 and directed by Joe Berlinger, Book of Shadows, Blair Witch 2 is a metafiction psychological horror movie starring the likes of Jeffrey Donovan, Stephen Barker Turner, and Tristan Schuyler, with it following a group of teens who are all obsessed with the mythology surrounding the Blair Witch Project movie. So they head into the Black Hills where it was shot to see if they will experience any supernatural experiences. Now, arguably the worst thing they did when entering this movie was abandoning the found footage concept, instead creating a generic and boring horror flick that is completely unmemorable. Now, the movie was given the green light immediately due to the success of the Blair Witch Project, but I'm betting those people have regrets now, considering this movie bombed, and it bombed pretty hard. It doesn't even have a cult following, it's just aggressively bad. Now, the movie was...
There are people that like it, though. There are people that say that if it was a standalone movie, it would have been a good movie, but being that it's linked to the Blair Witch, it's just not good.
Originally conceived as a psychological thriller about mass hysteria, and maybe that would have worked, but what we got was not that, that's for sure. To quote one opinion on the film, this sequel to the Blair Witch Project is all formula and no creativity, mechanically borrowing elements from the original and other horror movies. Preach. It's cheap, with no thrills, that was simply made to capitalize on a successful and original concept that its predecessor created. Coming in at number 2, Jack Frost 2, Revenge of the Mutant Killer Snowman. Honestly, I'm just so excited that I get to talk about this movie.
Okay, I haven't seen this one, Jack Frost 2, Revenge of the Mutant Killer Snowman, but Jack Frost, the original Jack Frost, was awesome. It was so bad that it's good. I absolutely love that movie.
Because of how laughably bad it is. Released in 2000 and directed by Michael Cooney, Jack Frost 2 stars the likes of Christopher Alport, Eileen Seeley, Marsha Clark, and Ray Connie, with it being a direct-to-video sequel to the 1997 horror flick Jack Frost, a comedy slasher which originally followed a serial killer named Jack Frost, who was on his way to his own execution when the truck he...
Okay, that picture they're showing there is the wrong one. There was one with Michael Keaton and there was one that didn't have Michael Keaton. This one has Michael Keaton. They're showing the wrong poster.
Which originally followed a serial killer named Jack Frost, who was on his way to his own execution
Wrong
when the
one.
truck he was in crashed into a genetic truck. Classic. So of course you know what happens next, even if you haven't seen the movie. Jack's body mutates due to the chemicals and fuses together with snow on the ground. He is presumed dead at first, but then comes back as a killer snowman who is seeking revenge on all those who had involvement in his arrest. Now that the original premise is out of the way, let's discuss the highly anticipated sequel that was definitely not highly anticipated at all. Jack Frost 2, Revenge of the Mutant Killer Snowman takes place 1 year after the events of the first movie, with it once again following the killer snowman Jack Frost, who travels to Cabana after being resurrected in order to kill the man who was responsible for his death. Now, while the movie's predecessor was enjoyably bad and garnered a cult following, Jack Frost 2 is an absolute train wreck. The sequel is completely unnecessary and manages to be an almost carbon copy of the original, just in a different location with
They're
a low
just trying to
budget
make
and
money.
worse script. It's not so bad it's good, it's so bad it's bad. And finally, in at number...
Okay, if you're gonna watch it, watch the one without Michael Keaton. I haven't seen the one with Michael Keaton, so I can't really compare the two. But the one without Michael Keaton, I liked it. I thought it was funny.
One, we have Exorcist II: The Heretic. This is a
Haven't seen
perfect
it.
example of why you shouldn't mess with something that is already great. The Exorcist is an absolutely iconic movie, going down in history as one of the greatest and scariest of all time. However, when its sequel came along, the
Scariest,
story was
yes.
almost unrecognizable, turning something amazing into a laughingstock. Released in 1977 and directed by John Boorman, Exorcist II: The Heretic stars the likes of Linda Blair, Richard Burton, and James Earl Jones, with it being the sequel to William Friedkin's Friedkin's 1973 movie The Exorcist, based on the book by William Peter Blatty. The movie itself is set 4 years after the events in the first movie, with now 16-year-old Regan MacNeil attempting to recover from her previous demonic possession, which took place in the first movie. Now Exorcist 2 was considered a critical failure and has since been labelled as one of the worst films ever made. Some viewers even went on to classify it as an unintentional comedy, which is the last thing a director wants to hear when making a horror film. According to author William Peter Blatty, he was the first to laugh during the screening of the movie, with fellow audience members quickly joining in. Director of the original Exorcist, William Friedkin, compared the movie to a traffic accident, describing it as horrible, stupid mess. BBC film critic Mark Kermode even stated, I quote, "Exorcist 2 is demonstrably the worst film ever made. It took the greatest film ever made and trashed it in a way that was on one level farcically stupid and on another level absolutely unforgivable. Everyone involved in this, apart from Linda Blair, should be ashamed for all eternity." Absolutely scathing, but hard facts, although why are we letting Linda Blair off the hook? I don't agree with her or her life choices. Well, there we have it. Do you guys agree with that list? Were there any horror movie sequels that we missed? Leave us all your thoughts and feelings in the comments down below.
Well, I haven't seen The Heretic, The Exorcist 2, The Heretic, but I have heard a lot of people say that it wasn't good, but a lot of people liked the third one quite a bit, so I don't know. Does this girl ever smile? I don't think I've ever seen her smile. I'm sure she's a nice person. Why do ducks have feathers? To cover their butt quacks.
Thank you, everybody. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hashtag MeanGene, all that fun stuff. And if you like this video, tell all your friends, leave a comment down below. And if you didn't like it, then just shut up. And I will see you next time.